Sales take place when prospects know you, they like you, and most importantly, they trust you, or rather, that they trust in your ability to get things done, to get the job done, or get them the health result, make money result, life, love, relationships result that they're after. In fact, this trust factor is probably the most important thing in the whole situation. To be honest, for you to be known, for prospects to know you, it may take many, many years for you to build a brand. It may take 5 years or 10 years. But that doesn't mean that you cannot build the trust in your ability to get the job done, and you cannot get effective sales from day number one. Welcome to this video. My name is Dr. Rajat Sinha. I'm a medical doctor turned sales specialist. And many, many times I've changed actually my career 2 or 3 times in life. And many times I found myself deep into a hole which I was able to crawl out of simply by my ability to get tactical sales done every single day. All right. In this particular video, I'm going to be talking to you about trust and how to build trust with a very, very simple technique. And if you're not following this technique, chances are that you're doing something very, very wrong. It's losing you trust than building trust. Okay. Before we get started, let me just quickly de-link the trust factor from the knowing and liking factor. People don't technically really need to like you as long as they can trust your ability to get things done. Think about a top lawyer. Everybody doesn't really like them, but people gravitate towards them when they have a problem. Think about a top doctor. Everybody doesn't necessarily like them. They may not have a very likable personality, but they have a reputation that they can get the job done. When you meet them for the first time, you know that they can get the job done. Okay. Now, a big problem that is happening in our ecosystem right now is a lot of digital industry bullshit, which is you'll find a lot of digital people out there who will say that for people to like you or people to trust you, you need to build this big brand outside. You need to do these 10,000 things outside. You need to have a big blog. You need to have a podcast, videos, etc., presence. And all of these things are the things that they know how to do. If you go to any digital specialist, freelancer, coach, consultant, or even a services agency, they're going to give you a plethora of 10 different things that you need to do before you can enter the marketplace. Well, it was never like this before. You could just get a product. If you don't know how to build a product, you can get signed up with an affiliate product and go out into the marketplace and start selling. Today, there is a lot of confusing information out there that says, well, if for people to trust you, you do need to have a brand. The answer is no, you don't, and you cannot have a brand on day one. Okay, so what do? You wait for 5 years, 10 years and waste a lot of money building a lot of online presence and things like that. That is not the way to get trust. In fact, most people do not want to look outside of the frame when a prospect comes to meet you. They don't want to look outside of the frame at the external things you've done. Okay, a lot of this stuff, creating a big digital presence, a lot of this stuff which is getting a bunch of testimonials. I see a lot of people publishing testimonials on their web pages, testimonials in their ads. That is not the way to build trust. In fact, it just sounds too salesy and too desperate. When a prospect wants to get trust, they will look deep into their eyes, and the way you handle their question, the way you handle the call will either subconsciously build trust or it will not build trust. And if you don't know how the handling of this call is to go, and if you're making mistakes like the one I'm going to tell you now, then subconsciously they don't have trust. And consciously you're trying to logically give them trust by having a big online presence on which you probably wasted lakhs of rupees, and it's not getting the job done. Okay, very, very simply, how you handle the sales call or how you handle the interaction inside the frame is the thing that actually builds trust, because if you're an expert, you will handle that particular interaction properly. Okay, it will feel like it's flowing. They will feel like they're in the right hands, and they will not have a problem literally surrendering to you. Okay. One of the biggest mistakes that people make in the sales call is that a prospect, assuming a prospect has come to you, and these prospects could be, let us say, solution aware or competition aware prospects. Either they know what is to be done, they just need some help with it, or they have already tried working with some people and it did not work out. Okay. These are the best kind of prospects. And if such prospects come to you, you probably say, hey, whatever you did in the past didn't work because it was wrong, and let me tell you how I can make it right. So what you're doing is you are discounting all of the things that the prospect has done, and subconsciously you're telling them, hey, what you did was wrong, and I am going to tell you how to do the right thing, and this is what we do, and this is why I think it is the best thing. Okay, and this is the thing that is losing you the trust, because the number one reason prospects don't buy is because the fear of losing face. The fear of losing face. There are two big fears that the reason that prospects don't buy. The first is they don't want to lose money with you, and more importantly, they don't want to feel like a failure. They don't want to feel like a loser. And you will see this hear this when you meet the prospect, and they will be saying things like, we tried our best but maybe we did something wrong, it didn't work. शायद हमसे कोई गलती हो गई होगी, हमसे कोई हम में कोई कमी रह गई होगी कि हम नहीं कर पाए. So in their mind, they are thinking that they botched it up, they screwed it up. They probably their spouse is complaining that they wasted money in the market, and then they feel all of that. It makes them feel like a loser. Takes them back to their school times when they gave a wrong answer, or they tried doing something crazy in class to impress other people. It didn't work, and then everybody laughed at them and they felt like a loser. So all of those memories are coming back in the mind of the prospect, and now they're feeling like a loser. And instead of supporting them emotionally at this point, you're actually stepping on that a little more, and you're saying, okay, I'm going to help you. This is absolutely going to lose you trust, and if not, trust is going to lose you connection. Okay, remember, every prospect has a journey, and it is our job as salespeople to first of all honor that journey. So whatever the prospect has done in the past, we are going to support that. We're going to say, that's, you did absolutely the right thing. Hey, you worked with my competition, or you did absolutely the right thing. They're amazing people. Okay, hey, you know what solution is, or you try to do it on your own. Okay, no problem. I think I commend you because you actually took steps to solve your problem. And 96 out of 100 people actually have dreams and have goals, and they actually never do anything about it. But you went out and did something. So I think you're a champion. In my mind, you're a champion. Okay, perfect. And I think you're going right. You're going to achieve the goal. Why do you think you didn't achieve the goal? And they're going to say, well, I don't know, it didn't work for me, etc., etc. Okay. And what you're going to do at this time is exactly the opposite of most other salespeople that they're going to do. You're going to say, I think you have it covered. I think you're going in the right direction. You're going to get this thing done. You just need to stay on the course. So first, what you're going to do is you're going to tell them you're going in the right direction. You're going to stay on the course. You're very close. You're going to build up their confidence. Now, the point is, if they are very close, technically they don't really need your help. Okay, so you don't need to create the gap. The gap is already there. And instead of creating a big gap saying your previous journey was useless, whatever you built was useless, whatever you did was useless, that was not the right way to do it. Now in their mind, they're to restart the whole journey with you again. That's a very big gap. You're going to do the opposite, and you're going to say you're on the right journey. You're very, very close. I think with just a few days of work, I think you're going to be able to start seeing the results. And at this point, they're going to say, so what exactly is the place that I'm going wrong? How can I fix it? At which point you're going to bring in something called the vehicle. Okay, something called the vehicle. Now I'm just going to share my screen, which shows the actual structure of the Mad Money call. And at roughly about the 6 or 7 o'clock position, we're going to start talking about the vehicle. And at this point, you're going to say, just in as little words as possible, you're going to give them a suggestion. The vehicle is the number one thing that you do, and you do best. And ideally, it is the difference between you and your competition. So you're going to tell them, hey, I think this is the part where you're missing out. Okay. And if you do this, it'll help you. Okay. Now, what you've done is you've actually given them free value. Just make sure it's in as less words as possible. You don't get too much into description. You say, I think where you're going wrong is, I think this part is needs to be tweaked a little, and I'll give you some free value. You can just go ahead and try it for yourself. Hey man, this is the thing that I think you should do. Okay, if you're a weight loss coach, if your strength is actually mapping plans, metabolic plans, I think you shouldn't look at it as a weight loss journey. You should look at it as a furnace, as a metabolic furnace. And once you get your metabolic engine of furnace cranking in this particular place and you start tracking it, I think you'll start seeing the results. Okay, because weight loss results are difficult to track and they don't come immediately, but metabolic furnace or metabolic burn rates are easy to figure out. Okay, so I think if you do that, you'll be on the right track. Let us say nutrition is your ace. You got some nutritional supplement in the bag that you're selling. You say, I think you're doing right. You're cutting calories and you're burning calories. You're going to the gym. Amazing. I think what happens is sometimes when you try to do this, the nutritional quotient goes zero. So you got to bolster up on the nutrition without adding calories. If you just add that one little element, it's going to help you. Okay, now here's the thing. You've given them some ideas and you told them, hey, you can just go to YouTube and you can have enough information. You can just go find it out yourself. But the point is that the idea has been given by you. So obviously you're the expert. And they're going to ask you further, hey, what do I need to do? And how do we get rid of this problem? I need to get rid of this problem. You tell me what I need to do. At which point you're already in the close. They feel comfortable with you because in their mind, they had wasted their time, they'd wasted their money, they'd wasted their life. But you're saying, hey, no, you're on the right direction, man. This is exactly how I did it myself. I must congratulate you, man. You're very, very close. Amazing. So now what happens is they have nowhere else to go because every other salesperson is telling them you did wrong. And you got to restart the journey again with my beautiful solution. And you're saying, no, you're in the right direction, man. I think you should be able to do it. You don't really need me. I'll give you a little tip, and you give them a little tip. But once you give them the tip, they want the service from you because you are the one who gave the tip. So obviously, you're the expert when it comes to doing what you want to do. Okay. In my case, by the way, I also own a digital agency. I'll be very, very honest. And a lot of people come to me with digital problems, and I know that the problem is actually not digital. So if I try to prove to them that my agency is better, my services are better, the way we run ads or something is better, it's not going to work. So I just tell them, hey man, you're running ads. Ads is the right thing to do, which, God honest, that is the right thing to do. Hey, well, where the hell am I going wrong? Hey, listen, man, whatever your agency or freelancer that's getting you the ads, they don't have control over Facebook. You don't have control over Facebook. Leads are going to be what leads are going to be. What you want to do is you want to go long term and you want to master the conversion aspect by getting deadly good at sales. So sales is the aspect you need to tweak, not the leads. I think you're doing just fine. Okay, now guess what? The next question is, how the hell do I know where I'm going wrong in sales and who can actually help me get the sales? Can you tell me a little bit more about it? That opens up the line of questioning where I can say, okay, this is what we do. You can keep doing digital the way you're doing, keep your current freelancer or something. And if you want help with sales, maybe we can help you. Okay. So what I've done is I've supported them. I haven't done a complete overhaul of their journey. I have really, that builds a big relief to the prospect. And suddenly I become their friend because I told them, hey, I don't want to sell you a 5 lakh rupee service, man. I think whatever you got going on is perfect. Okay, but if you need a little bit of coaching, sure, we can help you. And it's the little thing that actually makes the whole thing work. Okay, and remember the story where there was a big multi-million-dollar ship that was not really working. The engine had gone out of order, and they called this mechanic, and the mechanic spent 5 or 6 days looking around the ship. And at the end, he just took a hammer and he tapped it 2 or 3 times at one particular place, and suddenly the engine came to life and everything started working. And when the mechanic sent his invoice, it was like $10,000. And the ship captain asked him, why $10,000? You just hit the thing only 2 or 3 times. And the mechanic said, well, you got to know where to hit the hammer. And that is $9,999 worth. And sure enough, he got paid handsomely. So just because you minimize the size of the problem in the prospect's mind does not mean they won't pay you the big money. They will absolutely pay you the big money because they got a larger ship at the back which is not really working and they're desperate to get it to work. Okay, so at this point, of course, if you have kind of supported their journey and reinforced their choices, there is a chance they will say, okay, that seems to be very simple. I'll go ahead and do my own research, which is absolutely fine. Okay, at least you don't sound manipulative. At least you're not trying to take advantage of the prospect at a time when they're down, and they will love you for it. And even if they don't do business with you, they're going to send you tons of referrals. That's a guarantee. Maybe they don't do business with you today. They wanna kind of process whatever you told them, and they come back to you later. Always happens. So just be in touch with them, make good relationships, and do the right thing. Okay, I hope this was of value. If there's anything else that I can add value, just send me more topics, comment below what topic you'd like to learn on, and I'm going to hit exactly that particular topic, just like the hammer, and it's going to be entirely free because I'm looking for more topics to make YouTube videos on. Okay, look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.